memory hit me, and I was like, I really want to put that on the story of us for those of you that enjoy it, and just because it's enjoyable to remember. And I think it's going to be a shorter one because there's oftentimes when I try to do these videos, there's so many memories like that weave in through others that it's like, oh yeah, what about that one and that one and that one? Or do I tell this one as a part of that one or no? I like not taking things that seriously. In any case, so there was a time when my DM and I were in our blue house, and it was earlier on. Now, when we'd gotten together, he was a pretty heavy drinker. If you knew his story, you'd know why. Doesn't make it okay, but it makes it more understandable about why he drank so much. That being said, um, let's just say it got out of hand, and it wasn't okay, especially as we had our oldest son who was very young at the time, and I was like, I mean, let's put it this way. The nice way is I love you, and this is not acceptable around the kids, and it's not acceptable around me. And I told him after some loud angry words that he had a choice to make. He could either stay with us or he could go drink elsewhere, like move out, go have his life of drinking and partying and fun, or stay, grow, be dad with mom and baby, things like that. Well, what I didn't know at the time was the level of immaturity my masculine had, because he took that as a well, it's funny because everybody else he'd been with basically said, you have to quit drinking. I gave him a choice. And I did it that way intentionally because it's the way that I saw it. Like, you don't have to quit drinking. You can go. But this is what the boundary is going to be for anybody here in this house. Like, this is now set. Rather than this is all your fault and you got to do this. Like, no, I mean, heck, I was enabling, so it was also a boundary for me too. And actually, it's genuinely hard because my DM he's funny. He's so sweet when he's drinking and very poetic and just, I mean, even our sons are like, it's hard because when he got back into drinking this year, they'd never really seen him drinking much. They didn't even know what it looked like to see an adult like drunk. They just haven't been around it. My family doesn't drink much because my dad was an alcoholic. So, I mean, and he's been sober now almost 30 years. So there's there was very little of it, and even they had said like the hard part is he's so awesome when he's drinking that it makes it hard when he's sober because it's very gruff and just got to be macho. Lots of Aries placements too. So, very got to be a tough guy on the outside. And then the other problem is that he would forget the sweet things he'd said. He'd forget the growth that we do. And, hence is part of problem with alcohol and any other sort of recreationally used substances is like, no matter what the beautiful thing is that you may experience when on it, either it doesn't last or it creates more problems than it's worth or whatever it is. In any case, my deliciously immature bratty DM at the time still, he felt like I told him what to do, but he was confused because I did give him the choice and I didn't nag him or force him to do it. There was one time after like he had stayed. I said, all right, then you're choosing, this is what you're choosing if you're staying, and I mean it. And he had one time that he tried to test me in a bratty way to see if he could drink a beer in front of me, and I said, nope, you're going to take that and your shit and you're going to get out if you're going to be like that. And he decided to pour it out, and then he wrote a song called Oh Yes I Can. And it was funny because I love the memory of getting to see, it was only a couple of weeks, I think, that he took the time to write this song. And first it started out as a, what is it, you tell me what to do, I don't have to do it kind of song. Like, like a little kid who's like, okay, I know that I have to listen to you in real life, but I'm going to write a story where I don't listen to you, you know? And then the song became a little more romantic as he settled down and realized that I wasn't, for one thing, I wasn't going to do like others and tell him he had to quit drinking and then keep drinking myself or putting him in shitty situations. I've never really drank much. Like, I've had some moments. I'm not saying I've never been drunk or I've never had moments. It's just alcohol's not my thing. And so like I was more than happy to join him on that journey. It's like I don't do much of it anyways. I've not really seen it take anyone to a really good place over long-term use. And you know, my dad was a functional alcoholic for quite some time too, and then just seeing the way he was, I kind of take it as a person by person thing. Some people do have higher tolerances and you know, they like to unwind that way after work, but it depends. Like, is getting drunk, is it taking away from your life? Are you, how are you when you're drunk? And how much money are you putting into it? How much of your judgment is being lost in it? You know, like, everybody's different. Um, but for my DM, it wasn't good. It wasn't good for him. It's not even that it wasn't good for me. It's like, you know, it wasn't good for him, and I'd see him get forgetful and then get frustrated at not meeting his goals, and then on top of it, the other stuff. And it was so funny just that, like, that he took that route of like, fine, okay, I'm doing it. I'm gonna blame you and say that it's your fault, even though you gave me a choice, so I can't really do that. So I'm gonna take my frustrations out in writing this song. And it started out as a, you know, as a funny song, kind of like, oh, what is it, poking at leadership, and then it turned into more of a sweet song, like about how he calls me his rose and he doesn't care what other people think. At least, what's funny is that's where he's getting to now, is to where he really doesn't care what other people think. He did at the time, but it was beautiful. It was beautiful to see a moment like that, moments like that, many moments that were not the greatest of moments. This was now like 12 years ago, something like that. 12, 13-ish years. No, would have been longer. No, yeah, that's about right. About 12, 13 years ago. And sitting back now, seeing all the stuff that's going on, and especially having watched Separation, in which was partly like, fine, you want to go, like, he had gotten back into drinking and clearly needed to sow some oats and needed to go have experiences without, it's so funny to say mature me, because I mean, I don't give off the paragon of maturity, or I'm not the paragon of maturity, but I definitely, you know, have things I want to achieve or things I want to do. I know that he has things he wants to do and achieve, and I want our kids to see us as achievers, and also people who know how to quit working on achievement all the time and just go have fun. You know, being an adult doesn't mean we have to be doing stuff by some crazy measured standard that other people talk about and don't do themselves. Either way, I hope that you enjoyed this little addition to the story of us, and hopefully, if Mercury doesn't keep messing with my video feed. I'm laughing that this particular one I had 0 times I had to push restart the feed or anything like that, so hopefully I can get some other videos done with y'all today. Either way, thanks for watching. Catch you in the next video.